Colorado State Capitol here in Denver, and it's appropriate we're showing it to you because guess what? This is the very first time we have visited this state with one of our boxing shows. We moved from the outside to inside the Grand Ballroom at the Adams Mark Hotel, where they have assembled a very lively and packed house. Well, hi everybody, I'm Al Bernstein along with Dave Bontempo. Glad you could join us as we make our first trek here to Denver, and it's fun to come to a place where they're highlighting a hometown guy, as in this case, Stevie Johnston. Lots of enthusiasm. Stevie Johnston, Al, would like to be like Pernell Whitaker and Roy Jones Jr. Be a big draw in his hometown because so many good things can happen after that. This is a big celebration type fight for him tonight. That's for sure. They have come out for him. Let's talk a little bit about Stevie Johnston. He is a classy southpaw who has won the NABF title, but he hungers for a world title, and many people believe he's very close to getting that. Not too many weaknesses with this guy. Good record, the 12 knockouts and the 17 wins. Good downstairs puncher. He may be fighting for the WBC title if his people can get him in line on the Chavez De La Hoya undercard in June. More on that throughout the broadcast. So for him, this is maybe the last chance before a title fight. He certainly hopes so. All right, so it's an important fight for him, and his opponent, Mark Fernandez, is a 33-year-old veteran, but a veteran who's put together 5 straight wins. This is his opportunity to find out what those 5 wins got him. He's got some power, fights a lot backing up. He beat all Denver guys coming in here. Now he wants to see just what this little comeback string has brought for him, and he will find out in this fight. So we're all a mile high here. We're expecting good boxing action, and we've got lots of it for you, even leading up to our main event. So to kick things off with a lightweight match, let's go up to our ring announcer, Jim Todd.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this lightweight bout scheduled for 8 rounds, if you will. In the blue corner, he weighs in at 138 pounds, wearing black trunks, from Denver, Colorado, and fighting for the Poor Boys Boxing Club. He has a professional record of 20 wins, 13 by knockout, 12 losses, and 1 draw. Let's hear it for Benjie Marquez. His opponent also weighs in at 138 pounds, wearing white trunks, from Aurora, Colorado, a professional record of 13 wins, 7 by knockout, and 2 losses, Jose Lupe Lopez.
Okay, gentlemen. Now let's take a look at the rules, Dave. In Colorado, no 3 knockdown rule has been waived. Standing 8 count is in effect, though. A fighter can be saved by the bell only in the last round. Only the referee can stop it. Under 3 rounds, you get a technical draw for an accidental butt. Over 3 rounds, go to the scorecards. All right, so we are just about set to go. Lupe Lopez. And across the way is Marquez, a veteran warrior. They are lightweights, and they will kick things off here in this 8-rounder as we get set for our very first boxing action here in Denver, Colorado. And we're happy to bring it to you here on the Deuce. And it may be another first. We've had yellow gloves, we've had blue gloves. I don't remember white gloves. Now you have yourself some innovation. Well, let me put it another way. They served with white gloves, as you recall, at my wedding. You were there. But nobody hit anybody, I don't think. Yours was a very clean wedding, as weddings go. There is the knockout ratio of the fighters. Neither man is a huge knockout puncher. Lopez, 28 years old, a painter by occupation, and he's able to, he does it for the Denver Housing Authority, so he's able to mix everything in and not have to go away to train. He can do everything right here. So many boxers have other jobs, main jobs that they do. And he is no exception. Marquez, a veteran who has been around for a long time, started fighting professionally in 1981. I think I've done his fights on about 5 different networks and syndicated groups. In different eras of your life. Exactly. And in his, he started out pretty well.
and then became self-managed, and that's where all of his problems began there. He started taking fights on short notices, going overseas. He said this time he had good notice for the fight. A week.
Not bad. A whole week to train.
When you're self-managed, maybe you think you have contacts, but you get a week notice.
A little over a minute left to go. We're in round 1. It is scheduled for 8. Benjie Marquez in the black trunks and the white is Lupe Jose Lopez.
There we go.
Lopez will need to get his jab going. When he's not here, he's getting caught with right-hand counters.
They have both beaten Bobby Butters, who is a local fighter here in Denver. Both decisioned him. So far, neither man has been able to totally impose his will here in round 1.
Or even partially impose his will.
Another way of putting it, yes. Under a half minute left to go here in round 1. Nice right hand by Marquez, who does switch a little bit, and you saw him do it there.
Marquez from the outside has been pretty good.
So round 1 passes into tonight. Stay with us. Lots more to come.
Can your radio do this? Only one radio can give you stereo sound this big, yet is small enough to fit almost anywhere. The extraordinary new Wave radio from Bose. Press the remote control and hear sound from a radio like you've never heard before. Big, rich sound that fills the room. You hear music the way it was meant to be heard. Clear, full, incredibly lifelike. You've got to hear the Wave radio to believe it. And now you can, in your own home. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call us toll-free to learn how, and we'll deliver the Wave radio to your door. Experience big stereo sound from a radio. Call today for more information. It will make a difference in the way you listen to music. A big difference.
We return to the Adams Mark Hotel here in Denver, Colorado, downtown, for more of our boxing show. Round 2 in this 8-round battle between Benjie Marquez and Lupe Lopez.
Well, Lopez, with a slight edge in punches, landed in that round, most of them jabs, and it was a very close round on paper, also illustrated in the numbers.
Good hook by Lopez, sends Marquez backward. Marquez opening himself up a lot.
There is an opening for Lopez to fire an uppercut if he can time it inside those wide shots by Marquez.
Marquez is a 35-year-old veteran. He has, as we said, been around. Years ago, fought Bernard Taylor back in 1985 in Las Vegas. That's a fight that I did do. And he lost in 10 to Taylor. And at that time, as Dave pointed out, was considered a contender. A potential contender.
Well, Mr. Bernstein, you've seen it all maybe tonight with the white gloves, but how about Benjie Marquez in the corner is his son?
Yeah. You don't see that very often, do you?
And he said the son has, he can take orders.
Not too many dads will take orders from their son, will they? Good hook by Lopez.
Well, Lopez has the right idea with the hook. He may need to establish it more with the jab. And Marquez can really take control of this fight if he can tighten up where his punches are coming from. He's swinging them so widely.
Right hook's missing badly. Marquez switches really in the middle of punches.
He likes to do that quite a bit. And you see if it's not done precisely, you get the wide shots and big-time misses.
He works the body there, and Lopez not able to counter him. Marquez with his hands extremely low.
He's doing that to try to keep his mobility so he can punch on the run at angles. but you risk getting hit with so many more shots than if your hands were up.
Remember in the old days, before Muhammad Ali, Tommy Hearns, and all these fighters that keep their hands at their waist, everybody kept their hands up.
Yeah, Ali really created a trend, and he was one of the few who could get away with it. Tommy Hearns could at times.
At times, yeah.
Now we see a lot of fighters that they bring their hands down when they're tired, and you really open up so much more trouble that way.
And with a fighter like Roy Jones, doesn't matter where his hands are, you're not going to hit him. We'll be back for round 3.
Hey, baby, you want to learn?
Video Country is a fantastic greatest hits music video package that features 40 of country music's top stars performing their greatest hits from the 80s and 90s.
Well, I smell T-R-O-U-B-L-E, the thunder blows. My aching, breaking heart, my broken heart.
Video Country is 160 minutes, 40 music videos, a one-of-a-kind compilation package. And as a free bonus, the Collage of Country Stars, an original print, a Hall of Fame collectible, signed and numbered for authenticity. To order by credit card, call the number that appears on your screen. To pay by check or money order, forward to SPIN, Star Magic Product Information Network, P.O. Box 595, New York, New York, 10023. $24.95 plus $4 postage and handling. This is a monster package, a sensational value.
So we return for this lightweight encounter. It's round 3. Benjie Marquez in the black trunks, and in the white is Lupe Jose Lopez. It's been a pretty even match for the first couple of rounds, and Marquez gets very aggressive here.
Opens up from the side, gets the crowd into it here, but leaves himself open with those wide shots.
Well, what it lacks in technique, it makes up for in excitement and fun.
And listen to the crowd. Isn't that quite a statement sometimes about what people like, especially if they're sitting 5 or 10 rows back?
This is a very enthusiastic crowd here in Denver. They have filled this ballroom at the Adams Park Hotel. They say about 1,600 people are here. And after that quick start, Benjie Marquez slows down a bit here in round 3.
He had his one burst for the first minute of the round. He's got a mouthpiece inspection, not even put it back in.
It's also a first. They are forming a commission here in Colorado. In fact, Mark Radner, who is the head of the Association of Boxing Commissions, the commissioner in executive director of the Nevada Boxing Commission, is here helping them. Was Mark very much in the news this past week, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the Tommy Morrison situation later. But he's here to try and help them put together a commission.
It's amazing when you go from state to state, when you see even weak commissions, the things that slip through the cracks.
That's true.
Very routine.
Good right hand by Marquez a moment or two ago.
He's teeing off nicely in this round here. Lopez can diffuse that if he can step to the side, because Marquez certainly isn't hiding his intentions with any of these bombs from outside. They can be seen.
Yes, they can.
I just want you to know I'm going to throw it.
I'm not kidding. Lopez going to the body, working on the inside.
Marquez has fought pretty well at times on the inside.
Wild left hook got there. There's some straight punches by Marquez. If Lopez could counterpunch better when Marquez comes in, he would get some work done here, but he's not been able to.
He could also shuffle to the side and set up a countering opportunity, but he's moving straight back.
So that'll do it for round 3. A program reminder, if you're an NHL fan, hockey fan, of course you want to be here on the Deuce, Florida, taking on the defending Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils. That is Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. Florida with their terrific goalie, John Van Beesbrook, against the defending Stanley Cup champions, New Jersey Devils.
Well, here's some big shots by Marquez. The long left hooks. And then from the side. Now, that right hand is certainly not a good punch to throw because of what it opens up, but he got away with it.
Oh, there are a lot of punches in this fight that aren't necessarily good to throw, but they're getting thrown. These guys really are at the perfect level to fight each other when you think about it. Marquez now at a certain level because he's a veteran, and Lopez kind of coming up.
They do have the common opponent victory, so it is a perfect time for these guys to fight.
We are headed into round 4 here. Approaching the halfway mark in this 8th rounder. I'm Al Bernstein along with Dave Bontempo. We're coming to you live from Denver, Colorado. Boy, close numbers, huh?
Boy, it really is tight. They go back and forth. Each combination by a fighter answered by another one. I think Marquez has had a little bit more effective blows and more telling combinations to his credit. Lopez countering.
Nice body work by Marquez, but Lopez able to get it in. Now, Marquez is a 35-year-old who's expended a lot of energy. Lopez, by the way, 28. Now he's talking a little bit to Marquez. So you have to say maybe Marquez might not have as much in the gas tank for these last 4 or 5 rounds.
So he better put as much in the bank in terms of rounds and points now while he can.
Lopez trying so hard to counter him as he comes in, just not able to do it.
And Marquez frustrating him with the hammerlock attempt there after he threw his left hook. Lopez not able to get set, and he may have to wait or force Marquez to get tired before he does his best work. Sharp right hand from Marquez.
So here in round 4, Marquez getting some good work done, but also Lopez countering a little bit as well. I want to mention to you that following our telecast this evening, right after it, you're going to get a chance, an extra treat. You're going to get a chance to look back and see what was a great fight. The Barrera-McKinney fight for the Junior Featherweight Championship. And I'll tell you what, we called that fight, Dave. It was exciting.
There was terrific action in that fight. 12 rounds nonstop. That fight is a treat.
It really is a boxing special immediately following our show here this evening. So don't go anywhere. Maybe go get some popcorn right when this show ends, and make it quick because you got to get right back to watch the fight. About a half minute left to go here in round 4.
Lopez has done fairly well with his left hand in this fight. Some hooks and the jabs. Right hand seems to have been trapped. He'll unload that as he goes along.
So in a match that has had lots of ebbs and flows, still very close, still very much in doubt. We will be
Framingham, Massachusetts.
That is Jose Lupe Lopez, easy for me to say, who takes on Benjie Marquez. Lopez comes out after getting a stern lecture from his corner. They don't want their boxer to complain to the referee, which he was doing a little bit, and they also wanted to go a little wider with some of his punches.
Able to hopefully, in their case, counter, and wow. The big goose egg for Marquez. He was loading up with everything else, and Lopez doing quite a good number of work. Now that's a kind of a stat, even if you were out punching heavy in the power punch department, that type of jab edge will give you a round.
It ought to, yeah. In defense of Marquez, it's not like the jab is a big weapon for him, so the fact that he missed the 5, he probably didn't even care that much. but he certainly doesn't like the amount of jabs, and there's 2 or 3 of them right there. Notice how I help our punch profile count by just pointing them out. A couple of jabs landing by Lopez right there. We haven't seen the full count. You and I haven't been around the Bob Kenobi and Logan Hobson, the expert punch counters, and we welcome them back to our shows here on ESPN2.
Lopez got the right hand going behind the jab there. He'll be looking to do more of that. Perhaps move, as his corner said. Open up that one side of the face.
Good body work by Marquez. There's the hook that Lopez had countered him. These are very close rounds. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that, but it's a reinforcement, because I'll tell you what, the ebb and the flow of these rounds is such that it is going to be tough to pick a winner.
And these guys can fight for a couple of hours, and you're still going to have a very tight fight at the end. Their styles go together. They miss the same type of shots. They land the same type.
You know, Benjie Marquez, and I do remember him in some of those bygone eras when I looked up announcing his fight, he did jab a little more in the old days, and it did make him more effective. Now he just comes in with those big shots, doesn't care to jab too much.
He figures he's going to win it with his pure ability or lose it. Try to make it very emphatic. 35 years old. Probably not really working so hard for it, just taking fights as they come along.
But giving it his all here tonight, that's nice to see. Lopez with a 7-fight win streak coming in here. Mostly all those fights in the Denver area. So he would like to keep that win streak alive, and he's using that jab to see if he can do it. We'll be back for round 6. Stay with us. That is Mr. Lopez, Jose Lupe Lopez, the 28-year-old from Aurora, Colorado, came in with a 13-2 record against the 35-year-old veteran, Benjie Marquez, who was 20-12-1.
And between rounds, Lopez was being implored by his people to take advantage of his youth. He's got an edge in the punches landed through 5. He's 28. Marquez admits to 35. There are some who think the number is higher. So, whatever that is, Lopez's people really want him to press the pace and make Marquez show those youths.
And the interesting thing about those numbers, that edge of 40 punches, while it is a legitimate edge for Lopez, Marquez landed a lot of power shots among his punches, and maybe some of the jabs that Lopez landed might not be quite as powerful, so you have to take that into account.
That's why these are going down to the end of these rounds here.
Nice straight shots, though, by Lopez. See, they're mad that Lopez, instead of getting inside those wild hooks and countering, is jumping back and just blocking those shots.
Because what he's doing is giving Marquez a chance to come at him and try some more. He has to make Marquez pay for those misses. When Marquez misses, Lopez needs to go more to the side quickly so he can set something up. What Marquez is doing, though, to prevent that, when he's missing, he's right in front trying to tie up. He knows that veteran skill.
There's Lopez using a jab to try and set up the right hand, but he has not landed that punch like he wanted to.
And this fight really is going to boil down to what value at this point do the judges give the big outside bombs that Marquez was throwing in the first portion of this fight. Will they think that they look big, or will they think they lack power because of how they were thrown?
And there are also the body shots of Marquez to consider. He has thrown a lot of body shots. There's a hook. getting in there by Lopez. He hasn't thrown too many of those in this match. Under a minute left to go in round 6, and Jose Lopez is picking up the pace a bit here.
Marquez showing his first signs of fatigue here. Mouthpiece open. It's been a pretty good pace. Now, Lopez is feeling with that right hand. He needs to pop it.
Yeah, he's not getting any leverage behind him. So just seconds left to go here in round 6. Nice right gets in by Benjie Marquez. We will be back for more here on ESPN 2 Boxing Show. Stay with us.
Who is that guy?
Oh, man, that's Eddie Murray. We talking the greatest switch hitter of all time.
Yeah, he looks asleep to me.
Well, he don't talk to nobody.
Maybe it's because he's tired.
Listen up, that ain't tired. That's determination. He's got the most game quit switch hit home runs and a 3-time winner of the Golden Glove. He's an 8-time All-Star with the most game winning RBIs. But you know what I'm saying? With these kind of stats, man, we could be here all day. Whack that horse hide, Eddie.
He is the undefeated Stevie Little but Fred Johnston.
Still to come here on our boxing show. In the main event, Stevie Johnston, the undefeated NABF lightweight champion, fighting in front of this home crowd, will take on Mark Fernandez. Stay with us for that. There's the corner of Jose Lupe Lopez as he gets some words of exhortation. They'd like him to kick it up a notch as we head into these later rounds against the 35-year-old veteran Benjie Marquez. We've got 2 rounds left to go. There have been no knockdowns in this bout, not even anybody close to being knocked down, no cuts, but there have been some power shots landed. There's round 6.
And Marquez with an edge in the 6th round. Lopez hanging pretty tough considering he had a substantial edge in the jabs in that round.
And I assume those power shots include the body shots as well for Marquez. So even when you consider that, that is not a big edge.
And for Lopez, that's good to hang tough in that territory because he's dominating the jabs very big.
I think we can safely say he out-jabbed Marquez in the last round. The last time we looked at any of these rounds, it was 0 for 5 for Marquez. I'm not sure he's thrown a jab in the last 3 rounds. You know what?
Marquez conceded the jab 5 rounds ago.
Yeah, one jab this round. You know what I'd love to see when this fight is over? I want to see how many jabs Benjie Marquez has actually thrown at the end of this fight. And I'm going to make you a little bet now. I'm going to bet you that number is under 30.
Ooh, an over-under right on the show. That's right very close to where it's going to be.
I'm just taking a guess on that one. Now, we're not wagering, mind you, because, of course, that's illegal, but a gentleman's bet.
Well, just to be fun, I'll take the over.
All right, you take the over, I'll take the under. We'll see what happens.
And I think Marquez should start jabbing.
You're going to say that. About a minute left to go here in round 7 in this lightweight encounter between Benjie Marquez in the black trunks, Jose Lupe Lopez in the white. It's been fairly even. Man, I don't know how I would end up scoring this one. I guess I feel like Lopez is a little bit ahead.
I've got him as a slight edge by 2 points, but some very excruciatingly close rounds over.
So you've got Lopez ahead by a couple, and that's fair enough. We'll see what the judges say when this is over, if it goes the distance, and I would be willing to go out on the limb and say it's going to go the distance.
And this is the type of fight that could lead to bizarre scoring as well. A lot of different interpretations because they're both doing different things well.
Check that chin.
His body work, I like Marquez's body work. I'll tell you what, he's done a lot of it during this bout, and that often gets overlooked. But nice hook by Marquez. He misses a lot of those shots. We'll be back. The issue's still in doubt.
Presenting the most effective home exercise system available. As with all great designs, it works on one very simple idea: freedom. This is Bowflex. With 64 exercises, only Bowflex gives you the freedom to get an entire body workout with both strength and aerobic exercise. Call right now for your free video and brochure on the only fitness machine that gives you the results you really want. Guaranteed results. Bowflex design gives you the freedom to move through your workout quickly and efficiently, which keeps your heart rate up, burns fat, and tones muscle. Only the Bowflex patented power rod system follows your body's natural range of motion, so every exercise feels great, because you dictate the motion, not the machine. And of course, Bowflex gives you the freedom to have your room back when you're done. Call now for your free video and brochure on the fitness machine that guarantees results in 6 weeks, or your money back. Bowflex. Freedom for results.
Well, we are set now for the final round, the 8th round in this lightweight encounter between Jose Lupe Lopez, the white trunks, and Benjie Marquez, the black trunks. And I'll tell you, no, they are not contenders. No, they are not the most skilled fighters on earth. But this is good fun.
Well, when you get two fighters at the same level who deserve each other in terms of a matchup, it does create excitement, because you've got guys basically who show that bragging rights go to many different levels, and this is for Denver.
Speaking of bragging rights, let's see who won the jab question. Oh my God, you won the 0 for 1. Marquez has actually thrown 43 jabs in this bout, as opposed to 310.
I can take the 8th round off.
Still, not too many jabs from Marquez.
That's still only 6 a round.
The mouthpiece goes out of Marquez. He said, I don't care, just let me fight. So we're set to begin again. He's been out jabbed by 250 jabs. It's amazing. That's amazing.
By a guy who's not a textbook jabber either.
No. Good work. Oh, big hook. Big hook again. Where has that been for Lopez?
He had Marquez come right at him. Sometimes it's the safety of the final round that lets a guy just unload.
He's thrown almost no left hooks in this fight, and he blasts Marquez with 2 of them. Where was that punch?
And that's a characteristic of the barroom brawl type of bouts, too. You see some shots come out of nowhere, and you wonder where they've been.
And those were good left hooks. They were pretty well thrown. Right there, he's in a position to throw more, is the Lopez. And there's another one.
It helps that Marquez is not grabbing him here either. So he's found something.
Wow.
And now that he found it, he is going to it with impunity.
A minute left to go in what has turned into a very, very entertaining and action-packed lightweight match. If, in fact, Lopez needed to put an exclamation point on a win for himself, he's done it here in round 8.
He has controlled this fight in the 8th round with an excellent series of left hooks. There's the uppercut we talked about earlier. We found that too. It has helped now. Marquez has slowed down, and Lopez can work on some things.
He is tired, and that's part of the reason why he's landing those shots. But still, you would think he might have thrown a hook now and then just for yucks. But then you'd think Benjie Marquez would have thrown a jab once in a while too. Left hook by Marquez, doesn't quite get there. There's blood around the nose of Benjie Marquez. 28-year-old Jose Lupe Lopez looks like he may be carving out a win for himself. We'll see that.
Well, he certainly put a nice punctuation on it here in the final round.
It's over. This crowd appreciates it, and we hope you do too. Two boxers who, what they lacked in technique, certainly made up for in terms of aggressiveness. And that man, Jose Lupe Lopez, is a more skilled boxer, I think, at this point. So he threw a lot of good shots. Well, basketball here on ESPN2, St. Joseph's and St. Bonaventure, an Eastern matchup. It's going to be tomorrow night. 9:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. Pacific, right here on the Deuce. The Bonnies of St. Bonaventure against St. Joseph's.
Well, when Lopez found it in round 8, he capitalized. He went over 100 punches for the first round of the fight, landing more than half of them. The left hook was big. He really got himself totally in gear in the final round, and that will give him a lot to build on for future fights. And substantial edge in the punches landed for him, 647 thrown, and did get into the triple figures in the 8th. If there was a 9th round, he might have thrown 100 there, too.
He was very aggressive toward the end of this bout. They are awaiting the decision. They tally up the scorecards. Benjie Marquez, the 35-year-old veteran who, as Dave said, is probably at the point where he's taking fights one at a time just to see how well he does. He was certainly a valuable kind of a fighter for Lopez to face.
And he gave Lopez a chance to win this neighborhood rivalry. Marquez has no illusions. He's 35. He knows that these are the type of fights he's going to get. And the most money he ever made in his career was $3,500, and he had to go overseas to do it.
Yeah, that's not that much. In the other corner there a moment ago, we saw Tommy Brunette, his brother Brian Brunette, who's a boxer on ESPN, and they promoted some shows in Minnesota. And there he is, standing there with Benjie Marquez.
It's his son there with him. Blue collar all the way.
Yeah. So, we're set to go. Let's go to Jim Todd.
All right, Judge Ed Walsh scores the bout 76-77 for Marquez. Judge Joseph Mason scores it 77-76 for Lopez. And Judge Ed Kugler scores it 76-76. It is a draw.
So, we were wrong. It ends up being a draw. We thought it was close up to a point. We felt that perhaps Lopez, with his late charge, had gotten the job done, but apparently not. It ends up a draw, and maybe they'll do it again someday.
Gee, you can certainly see it in the offing here. The rounds in which not much happens cost Lopez a win, perhaps, here.
All right. We'll be back for more here from Denver, Colorado. Don't go anywhere.
This is Barry Barber for world in your hands. News, entertainment, science, sales, art, libraries, games, people for one low, flat monthly fee of just $15. No hourly charges, no censorship, no limits. Skeptical? Here's what a major news weekly says about IDT's pioneering president, Howard Jonas. He comes off as an Edisonian visionary. His tinkerer's pleasure in making ideas real comes before profit. As the internet expands, is taking on his ethos, a combination of idealism and attention to the bottom line. And that's your bottom line. Let IDT put the whole unlimited world in your hands for just $15 a month. Read, write, research, correspond, download just about everything imaginable 24 hours a day. Call IDT now at 1-800-245-8000. I repeat, that's 1-800-245-8000.
Having a little trouble packing on pounds or getting noticed? Then drink this. General Nutrition's Pro Performance 2200 Weight Gain. 2200 pound packing calories a serving. Hey, beef up. Get noticed with GNC's Pro Performance 2200 Weight Gain. Only at GNC.
Guess which motor oil more top mechanics use in their own cars and trucks over any other oil? Valvoline. The #1 choice of America's top mechanics.
We return to the Adams Mark Hotel here in Denver, Colorado. Well, hi, everybody. Al Bernstein along with Dave Bontempo, and we thought we'd take a few moments to recount a little bit of what has gone on in the boxing world this week, specifically dealing with the Tommy Morrison situation. It's been an emotional roller coaster for just about everybody that even has a passing interest in boxing. There, of course, you see some of the many headlines that preceded and followed Tommy Morrison's HIV positive announcement. Tommy had some interesting things to say.
To all my young fans out there, I'd ask that you no longer see me as a role model, but see me as an individual that had the opportunity to be a role model and blew it. Blew it with irresponsible, irrational, immature decisions. A decision that one day could cost me my life.
So, an emotional press conference for Tommy Morrison. Just about everybody and their uncle has had their say on this issue throughout the week. He is even judgmental about himself, and I sense that a lot of people in America have been judgmental. I wonder if too much so.
Well, there's been quite a bit of attention about it. One thing, it's a boxer stricken by this very high publicity angle, and people have been on top of it, so they've been very opinionated. Tommy Morrison, certainly very honest.
And this has led to some action in terms of HIV testing. A number of states that didn't do it before are considering it, and some have already moved to do it.
Well, this has triggered legislation in many states. New York, New Jersey, they're doing it here voluntarily. In Colorado, Don Ting said his fighters will do it, and it makes sense. An AIDS test costs about $20. There's no reason not to get an AIDS test. And this is like mom and apple pie as far as issues go. People know that they have to do it. Boxers want to do it. You'll see it move straight ahead.
All right, now, in some cases, the reaction to this has been, well,